All right, so we're going to get started today. My name is Adam Jones. I'm the owner of Pullman Marketing. We have been doing websites, SEO for a very long time. I think I'm almost at 20 years as a SEO and web professional. When we look at doing stuff for financial advisors, which is what we're going to be doing today, I've been doing it for over 15 years, working with financial advisors on their websites, their SEO, marketing automation systems. And one of the things that I've noticed is that there are a lot of things happening. Everyone's so excited for AI, for data this, analytics that. Hey, we now have the data to track all the things. And it's getting some interesting implementations. And even though we're doing all these really fancy things now, so many of the basics are just still being missed. And we're going to look at one, if not two, kind of random examples of websites and things that just are missing the mark. We're going to run an audit together. You're going to see exactly how I would approach it, where I look, how I'm looking at it. These are things that a lot of folks could do on their own. So maybe you're a financial advisor, maybe you're a marketing technologist that's working on behalf of an advisor or just doing web. These are things that you're going to see that you could fix. You could do these things and be able to hit the mark more often than not. Now, there are going to be some people who are going to say, oh my gosh, that's wrong. Yes. Because when we go into SEO and saying this is exactly what Google wants you to do, 9 out of 10 times we don't know what Google wants us to do. You can read their blog, and there are specific things that may work, but then they change, and then they change again, and then they change again, and then they change again. Right? Like I've been doing this for almost 20 years. Every year has a different flow, a different cadence. Things that were considered black hat or gray hat, white hat, we don't even have that conversation anymore. It is literally just how do we write well for humans so that the robots follow and we create a good customer experience. And so as we get into this, that's the main thing I want you to be thinking about is what is a good experience, especially for an elderly person that is looking for financial advising services. Most websites are not optimized or tuned to how the customer thinks, what that customer is looking for, or even if the font is even big enough for an elderly person who may have some accessibility needs to be able to access the website appropriately. Now, that gets into some ADA stuff that we're not going to quite hit today, but those are things that we need to be thinking about and having a good positive cadence towards. So I'm going to get started in here. Let me pull up a website. And you may say, okay, this is random. This was random. I just typed into Google, hey, Google, financial advisors, Bellingham, Washington. I am located in Washington State. I love my state and where we're at. But as I look around, these are the types of things that I see often. And Bellingham is a beautiful area. I don't know if you've ever been, but it is a beautiful, beautiful part of the Pacific Northwest and is a great place to retire. There's a lot of kind of bedroom communities that are in and around. It should be a really decent market. Now you might be saying, okay, well, cool, but I want to go after industrial. I want to go after railroad pensions. Fascinating area. Or people who are, working in aerospace or something else. That's cool. A lot of things that we're looking at are going to be perfectly tuned to assist. We just need to look for the right things. So as I look at Skyline Advisors, like I said before, this is a random group. They actually, looks like I'm hiding it just a little bit. They actually do have really big text. I love this. I love this really big text. This is marvelous. We leverage wealth to help build a richer life. That is fantastic. I am going to immediately go ahead and inspect it and say, okay, this is an H1 tag. The H1 tag is the clearest signal to Google saying, who am I and what do I do? The fact that it doesn't say financial advisor or financial advisor Bellingham, financial advisor county, financial advisor for X type of person, that's going to hurt your search, regardless of what we're doing. That is actively going to hurt your search. And while I have this open, I am going to scroll up. I'm going to see what this is built on. Uh, I see open protocol, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Ooh, okay. Squarespace. So this is built in Squarespace, which is cool. Squarespace is fine. There aren't as many SEO tools inside of Squarespace as I would prefer. I have been a 20-year WordPress person. I do love WordPress. I know there are people who are saying, oh my gosh, we got to move away from WordPress. There are so many things that we can be building with AI. Absolutely, you can, you should. It's awesome. You should use a WordPress backend or a headless, and we can get into that technology piece. But just looking off the bat, that's going to be a major signal that we're missing sending to Google as it tries to find it. If I hover up here, that doesn't come across on the share. We'll look at the title and meta descriptions. But then as I scroll, I immediately see an EM dash. Now, this website was redone in 2026, so within the last 6 months. I know that they were using AI, they're on the AI train. Nothing wrong with that. I would remove the EM dashes because even the elderly are catching on that this is an AI thing and that you may or may not be actually carrying, right? Like we just copy and pasted this in wholesale. And that's going to sound really harsh. I don't mean to be. I'm just saying that this is a reality. This is a fact. But we're saying, hey, we're here for life, trusted financial advisors who listen and care about you. Okay, so they finally got the word financial advisor in. So I'm going to then take a look. This is an H4. This is pretty low tier on the list, right? Like H tags are H1, H2, H3, H4 in terms of importance. And so when we have it rated as an H4, we're saying that that is not very important. So keep that in mind as we're working through our hierarchies. When we get down here, Skyline Advisors, this is the first time we see the name Skyline. H2, cool, that's the name of your company, but that doesn't actually tell us what you do. And then we get into this kind of secondary / H3 would be my mindset. But I think these over here, oh, these aren't even H3s. Oh gosh. So to do just an easy modification, I would turn these into H3s, right? Because H1 should be kind of your name. H2 is what you do. H3 are the things that are helping your H2 to give it more additional context in that hierarchy. So when we say financial planning, investment management, tax planning, that should be your H3s. And there are plugins. There's like, I'm sure there's some web person screaming at me like, why are you using the plugin for this? You don't need to. You can just look at it. You can just know. It's fine. It's fine. But once again, we're all in on AI. So what if financial planning wasn't just about money? Should be comma, but about building the richer life you love, right? Like that's the easy way. Even if you were trying to write with an EM dash, you shouldn't. That should be a comma. Team will help you plan ahead. That's awesome. Cool. So one of the things we always look at when we hit a website for the first time is what's the number one action that you want me to take when we're looking at this website? I'm here. This is what we call above the fold. As I scroll down and I get here, I'm below the fold now. I still don't know what you want me to do. I still don't know what the CTA is. I still don't know what the engagement is. It's only when I get down here that I'm then greeted with a start planning, invest wisely, plan ahead. Okay, so maybe I do want to invest wisely. Building wealth one step at a time. Oh my gosh, this is huge. And I'll get into this in a moment. Not my favorite, and I'll show you why soon. If I scroll down, invest with confidence and care, hands-on approach. Well, I hope I'm hands-on, or are you hands-on? I don't know who's hands-on and whose hands. Anyways, that's not important. I need to know. I do like the testimonial. How do you do it? Oh, okay. So this is talking about you guys now. And now we have a lead gen item, right? Like this is how we're trying to do stuff. Admittedly, if I click this, you should really have the person give you their email address to do that next step. However, once again, EM dashes, I instantly know This is basically just the website content. I'm not gaining anything. I'm not learning anything. And this is get our investment management services one sheet, which is nice. I don't need it. I'm sure you have the like 500 of these printed in your office. I wish you would ask me to talk with you, right? Like even at Why Choose, man, it's only at the bottom of the page that you actually invite me to get started. Uh, and now I'm in a very different website, right? Like we lost a lot of our branding. We lost a lot of our text. And then you say, hey, do you have questions or you would like to get in contact? Once again, EM dash, you're all in on that AI. I fill out a form and we move from there. That's tough. That's really tough. And the number one thing, and granted, look at your analytics. I could be way off base. Look at your analytics. I do really like Hotjar. I like Bing Clarity or Microsoft Clarity. They will show you a heat map of how people are using the website. Typically, in our experience, as we've been working with financial advisors for over 15 years, people will stop scrolling right about here. So just below that 25% mark. So if 90% of your traffic doesn't go below this point on your website, the rest of it doesn't matter. You've already lost them. You're not doing lead generation, and people have not found these instances to be valuable enough to make a decision to speak with you. Whether you're getting 100 visitors or 1,000 visitors, we're missing the mark together. So the other comment that I would have is I would love a phone number in this top header. I would love a phone number up top. We should have one right up here, just so that if I'm on mobile and I'm old and I didn't click on the Google Maps profile to call you, and I actually went to your website because I typed in skylineadvisors.com, I have it bookmarked. I want to be able to tap to call. I should be able to tap to call. Even if I go all the way into my footer, most phones, especially iPhones, are a lot better at this than Androids. This phone number should be auto linkable. This should be explicitly linked. These should be explicitly linked so that even if I'm on desktop/tablet, I'm still able to make that phone call from my iOS device. Like I said, Android cell phones aren't always the best depending on who your vendor is. But if I click that, I should be able to call you, regardless of the platform that I am on. So keep that in mind. That is a major thing. Um, and as we even look at mobile, and this is one of the things I wanted to show in some deeper details. Right. So same thing, above the fold, below the fold. I would love a phone number just right up top here. I would love a phone number. This would be really, really good. And then as I scroll down, leverage life, cool. I still don't have a CTA, right? Like right here in this white space should be a button to contact me, chat with me, schedule an appointment, use Calendly. Calendly is free. Go in ahead and use that tool to move it forward. We do have to start planning. Okay, so check this out. Check this out. If I want to click about financial planning, remember how I said that this was not a great user experience in this platform, right? So if we looked Skyline Advisors and I went back down to financial planning, right? I'm here and there's this fat old thing of text. My eyes have glazed, right? And I'm pretty young, I'd like to think. But this is glazed. This is where I'm at. So when I go to mobile and I just see this crammed up, the image in the background no longer holds meaning. And then I'm not able to move this forward. I should have planning for your peace of mind, goodbye financial fear. Maybe I scrolled this far. I should have a call to action. I should have something where I'm able to then interact, schedule, move it forward. And the funny thing is at this point, I haven't even seen you. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you look like. And the funny thing is the number 3 page from all of our clients that we look at, the number 3 page is our team. So if I go to who we are, So team, not our story. We don't look at purpose, right? Like purpose is someone who's like really trying to justify something, which is common, right? Like even seminars are a really tough one because a lot of people who attend those seminars already have a financial advisor. They're just trying to see if maybe you have a better fit or you have a better magic bullet. And so they're trying to grow a relationship with you before they make that move. Same goes for the our story and our purpose. That's that area there where people are trying to say, I like the looks of this. I'd like to make that migration. And we'll take a look at that in just a moment. But when we look at our team page, these are great photos, by the way. I love these photos. You had a great photographer. I love the way the eyes are. They did some nice Photoshop editing to kind of even out some of the lighting. I can tell that. I wish they had bounced more light into the faces, right? Like the hair is just so amazingly lit, but then the faces have so much shadow that I wouldn't mind just a little bit more light, especially when I look at Thomas Liddell. His is just seems the darkest out of all of these. Otherwise, I love these photos. This is great. This is wonderful. Um, Team looks beautiful. This is great. I love advisor emeritus. I love seeing legacy like that. That makes me feel like there's some long termness to what you guys are doing. You have 3 partners. That's great. If I want to learn about Mark, I can go learn about Mark. He's the #1 person. So if I'm smart, he's the one I'm going to ask for the most. And I'll probably get somebody else because hopefully Mark is busy. Um, and he seems cool, right? He's been a financial advisor since 1998, 29 years, 27 years, doing stuff, certified financial planner since 2007, chartered retirement. He seems cool. Why can't I call him? Why can't I mail him? Why can't I schedule? I should have CTAs either right under his picture or right up here. Like I love white space. Don't get me wrong. I love white space. I think we need to use white space more in a lot of our design, and that's actually one of the ways you can tell AI slop versus other good design is the minimalism and good white space usage. This is rough. I don't see it. So then let's go take a look at this on mobile. If we go to, who we are, and we go to our team. I'm not a huge fan of that multi-step. See, he looks so cool. Yeah. His blazer's nice. I like his blazer. See, once again, this huge chunk of white space, like I was talking, I should have CTAs right here to be able to message him directly, schedule with him, interact. I'm already sold. So then when we look at our story and our purpose, right? This is for the people who are trying to do a deep dive to see if they want to switch advisors. Jerry Wallace launches Bay City Financial Services, and Bellingham, born from family. Cool. The team grows. Oh, yeah, I like this. This is kind of cute. This is kind of cute. Too much white space, once again. Too much white space. Um, that's cool. That's a stock photo. Who does this? Who is swinging their backpack out? Who's throwing them back? Anyways, don't worry about it. It's just stock photography. We don't ask questions. All right. So then let's check on mobile experience, who we are. I want to see our story. See, once again, this big block. We don't even need this big block. We really don't. Born from family, the team grows. Fairhaven, financial advisors, yada, yada, yada. All right. This looks a little bit better, but still, look at this big, huge white space. It's not needed. Or give me a CTA, right? Okay. We've looked at it. I think there's a lot of things to be adjusted. Please review notes. And once again, I do hope that the Skyline Advisor team does see this. We are going to send them the audits after the fact so that they're able to improve. That's a free value add to them. And, if they make changes, great. If they don't, also great. That's their prerogative. This is just a great learning experience for us. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to one of our tools that we like to use. It does have a funny name. It is called the Screaming Frog. And so I'm going to type in skylineadvisors.com. I'm going to hit enter and start. And the cool thing is you're going to see that this says unlicensed. Ooh, didn't even go. Man. Oh, it's because I need to learn how to spell. Great. There we go. I need to spell. This is a unlicensed copy. This is a free tool. You can download it on your Apple or Windows device. You can use it. You can look at it. And I'm going to show you the number one thing that you can just look at, be able to evaluate, and know where you're winning or losing in terms of Google and the search engine results page, also known as the SERP. So when you hear me say SERP, that's the search engine results page. Now, granted, I know that some people may say, "Oh my gosh, well that's so irrelevant. People just use ChatGPT." Absolutely. Except ChatGPT also looks at the SERP. It has its own internal SERP system. So good writing helps everybody. Please be mindful of that. All right. So we have our ad website pages, right? Like Skyline Advisors. So I'm going to click on that. And then down here on this lower side, I'm going to activate this SERP snippet. Ooh. All right. This is great. This is great. And give me just saying to drink. If you haven't tried these Izzy's, you can get them at Costco. They're delicious. They are like the LaCroix like sparkling waters, except they actually taste good. They actually taste good. Just throwing that out there. Okay, so Skyline Advisors, fee only financial advisors, Bellingham, Washington. That's fantastic. I love that. I think that is a winner of a title. I think that's probably one of the best ones that I've seen from just fresh taking a look. And then Skyline Advisors provide wealth management services, including financial planning and investment management as fee only fiduciary financial advisors. Learn more. All right, now you're going to notice something on this right side that says truncated. You can type more into the description than what Google will show you, but Google will still read it. There is no penalty to filling it up, as far as we know. But we do know that the first 3 words, if not 5, are the most important that Google will look at. So, in all honesty, fee only financial advisor might be a better one to transpose to the front and move it from there. That's something that I would test and see if your homepage is able to increase organic search. But that would be a initial recommendation there. I'm okay with Skyline Advisors being here because if our keyword is Skyline Advisors and we're staying consistent, I'm okay with that. But that is also assuming we go back to that homepage that your H1 also says Skyline Advisors. See, Google is looking for a good, consistent user experience. So your H1, your title, and your subtitle, your H2, and then your subsequent H3, H4s should all be contributing to the primary SEO keyword that you're wanting your website to rank for. It looks like on the meta side that you're trying to rank for Skyline Advisors, which you should, but we don't have that on the actual homepage that we're looking at. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, if we go down into what we do, well, it's blank. Now, right now it says 302 redirect, so we know that got redirected. So let's see here. What is the URL that we want to do? What we do. Oh, great. That page doesn't even exist. All right. Let's look at financial planning. We're with you along the way. And so is AI with its EM dashes. All right, I'm gonna look at this guy. Let's see. All right, so our H1 is we're with you along the way. No one is typing that into Google. That's the H1. That's the primary thing that Google's gonna look at, and it doesn't have your target SEO keywords, which would be financial planning. So if we go back to the Screaming Frog, let's see, financial planning. Hey, I like this. Okay, see, this is where it's transcribed, it's transposed, right? Financial planning, Bellingham, Washington, Pipe, Skyline Advisors. See, so you went this way later on, which is good. Skyline Advisors offers financial planning in Bellingham, Washington. We provide guidance on retirement, tax strategies, and investments for long-term successes. Awesome. Change the H1 tag, please. That would be the best. Ooh. Actually, I don't know if this is sharing the right thing. Let me make sure this is on the right one. Oh, maybe. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Hmm. Do I show this one? No, I think it's this one. Sorry, my amazing. There we go. Okay. Yeah. All this looks good. This one looks fantastic. Great job. Way to be. Way to go. This is wonderful. If I go into the team page, it's completely blank. We gotta fix that. We gotta fix our team, our story, tax planning, accessibility, investment management, purpose, sustainable. You have 2 pages that are really good. Really, really good. The rest of them are completely blank. Now, when we leave these blank, Google kind of guesses based upon your H1 and H2 tags. And so if your H1 and H2 tags are, we're along with you, we're with you along the way. Sorry, keep saying that wrong. Whether you're just planning your career, that's what the search engine results page is going to say, is we're with you along the way, whether you're starting your career or planning a major life event. That's what you're sending to Google. That's what Google is going to guess, and that's what the LLMS is also going to pull. So in the long run, we actually really need to adjust and change these other elements so that you are ranking for everything that you want to rank for, and not just have Google guess, because oddly enough, they're really bad at guessing. So moving on, I'm going to show you what you can also move into. Okay. And what I mean by move into is this is a neatly redesigned site, as far as I can tell, right? The bottom here says 2026. It's on Squarespace. The other thing to me is that there actually just isn't a whole lot of content, right? I can go over to resources. Who knows when these were made? But also white space. Why is there so much white space? And then I can go to the blog. Ooh, all right, you guys got some blog and some AI slop. Thanks, guys. And okay, so maybe posting, what is this, like kind of once a month? Let's go here. What is a fee only fiduciary? Okay, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. I don't mind this. I don't mind this. The reason I don't mind this is you are actually hitting a pretty decent target keyword of what is a fee only fiduciary. That is a Google search, 100%. Now, I don't know in your region how often that is searched, so we'd want to look at that a little bit. But you also have enough text for Google to care about it. Typically, Google wants to see about 800 words. They'd like to see 1,500 words. They'd like to see 2,500 words. And there's a lot of things that go into that, right? Like they actually also measure reading time as a part of the SEO user experience, and that contributes to your page rank. So those are some nuanced concerns, but at baseline, right? Like we're looking at baseline SEO. This looks fine. Benefits of choosing. I would like a bullet list. That'd be great. This looks like it was possibly handwritten or provided to you by whoever your brokerage body is. I'm curious to see if I go up to financial tips for widows and widowers, financial realities surviving spouse should know. And then we go into AI slot. Great, thanks. Great. So immediately out of the door, we lose credibility. Even though this is a super important subject matter, even though this is really important, it really does not help when you looks like you just wholesale AI across the board. The other thing that I would say is this is a really soft CTA. I would love to have a Calendly where I'm able to schedule with Mark Wallace or another advisor direct. I'd love to see their face, see who I'm connecting with, know that this person wrote it, and that that person understands me. And when I talk to them, I'm going to talk to them about what this article was talking about. That is a good user experience. Being able to have that move along together. Okay, so there are some things that we may be ranking for, maybe, maybe not. We don't know. And so that's where you can have a platform like SEMrush or Ahrefs, or there's about a half a dozen other ones that are good, that are trusted, they're happy. We like to use SEMrush. They've a little bit older, but we've enjoyed that company for a very long time. And we felt that that relationship and the way that they run things is pretty spot on. Now, we do use other tools to help triangulate. That's one thing that we're really big on is we believe in Pullman marketing as a way to triangulate your local SEO, your overall SEO, and where you are in the market. Because Google Analytics and ads will tell you one thing, like who your competitors are. SEMrush will tell you who your competitors are, and so will all the other tools. And they're all going to list different entities because they're all ranking them in different ways. So even if you are using a tool, use multiple tools to understand where you're at. Uh, for us, we do have, ooh, it did work. Haha. We do have our Claude connected into SEMrush. And one of the tools that we like to use on our clients is under projects. And if I go into SEMrush Gap Report, this is awesome. This helps us gain a deeper understanding of the SEMrush data faster. So then we're able to give you feedback significantly faster. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and type in, I have this set up so all I have to do is just type in the URL and it's going to go and query SEMrush, look at all the data, look at how it's working, look at how it's rolling, and then provide me a report on where they could be missing searches. If there's a category or unique area that the area of Bellingham or their competitors are doing better at, or spaces where nobody is doing well at, areas where there is going to be serious amounts of opportunity for you to be able to grow that site traffic and move things forward. So we'll give that just a moment to crank through. It usually takes maybe about 1 to 3 minutes. So that gives me a chance to, once again, enjoy Izzy soda. But then also, if there's anything else, if there's comments or things in the chats, we are broadcasting this to YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and then also our school community. We do have a school community for financial advisors who are more starting out. If there's things that you want to learn about your websites or marketing, we have a ton of free tools. And one of the cool things that we have in there, sorry, I have to put that down. I like talking with my hands, is we have a entire content library so that is full season flywheel of content that you're able to use every quarter, month after month, pre-planned. And then I've even created a way for you to use Claude or ChatGPT, take our repository, and then be able to generate marketing that is full season, but tuned to your firm. And so that alleviates so much of the brain space, decision making, and everything else that goes into this ongoing marketing that every financial advisor should be doing on a routine basis. And once again, it's built, it's in school. If you'd love to join, feel free to ask or go check out school. It is the Financial Advisor Marketing Guild. You'll see a picture of me and our marketing and branding. We'd love to have you join the school community or just reach out if you do have questions on this, anything that we're talking about today. I would love to assist and talk through anything. All right, so let's go ahead and see what Claude decided to pull up with SEMrush data. All right, so it did pull 3 competitive comps, Financial and Planning Inc., Salish Wealth Management, and then Trail FP. I'm sure they're cool. Core findings, varying inconsistency with biggest cheap wins. Skyline is number 1 for Financial Advisor Bellingham, but 13th for Financial Advisor Bellingham. That's funny. That's funny. Same intent, higher CPC. Trail takes it with a fraction of Skyline's authority, right? And this is just the title tag on page. The exact things that we were talking about of having those H1s adjusted, if you just change those H1s to be more relevant, I promise you, you will be beating Trail FP in all of the localized Bellingham location searches. Please do it. Just takes less than 5 minutes. Please go do it. Heavy cannibalization, certified financial planner. Yeah, they could do some stuff there. Clusters, yada, yada, yada. All right, so yes, nope. Go ahead and build the spreadsheet. XLSX. Go. Now, if you are a AI nerd, we've been doing that a lot more. Like we use AI constantly. We have a team plan. We use ChatGPT. Fable is super overkill for this. Radically overkill. I haven't used all my tokens today. I usually end my day fully maxing out all of my token usage. So Skyline Advisors is getting the best of the best, cream of the crop. And so this should work and pull out really, really good results. A lot of times, even Opus 4.6, like you don't even have to use 4.8. Go ahead and connect SEMrush data if you have an account there. Connect the MCP. Go ahead and run Opus 4.6. Sonnet has not performed as well as I would like. I have tried this with ChatGPT. It's been okay. It's been okay, but I haven't tried it with the new 5.6. I would be really curious to compare 5.6 Solar with Fable 5. I think I would be really curious to see. I mean, that happened last week. I've actually been doing work to do stuff, so we haven't tested that out just yet. Um, but once again, if you have any questions on how to use AI, use the prompts, accumulate your data, right? Like you can be using your Google Analytics, your Bing Clarity with Claude and other things to generate meaningful action steps, right? Like a lot of times we tend to just look at a dashboard, and a dashboard really is just a receipt of what's been done, right? It's we paid for X result, and the dashboard proves that we got X result. That doesn't always mean that you have an actionable next step in your process or in your marketing, or even where you're trying to go in the next 6 months to 12 months. I know a lot of people are just now kind of getting, into the swing of the year. We're now Q3. We should be rocketing forward. But I know that in November, so middle of Q4, in just a few months, we're going to be saying, great, what do we need to be doing in 2027? Well, a dashboard can only tell you what happened. It's not going to be able to tell you what's next. And that's where we can use these models of Claude, Fable, or ChatGPT or other things to do the data analysis, even if you're not a data nerd or an analyst yourself. Use the skills within the AIs to move yourself forward and be able to go and check what is next. Once again, I want to thank everybody who's tuning into today across all of the platforms. We're so excited to be doing this. We are looking at doing this on a weekly basis. So every Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, not specific. My 8-year-old has said that for a while. Like he got like really stuck. He's like, oh yeah, specific time. Like it's Pacific, son. Pacific. We live on the Pacific coast, Pacific Ocean. Yes, it is a specific ocean, but it is the Pacific Ocean. It's I love my kids. They're funny. Um, and so as we go through, it's oh, haha. Okay, great. I'm gonna move this guy over. I'm gonna close that so I have a little bit more room. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. I'm so excited. I love this. I love this. All right. So this is SEMrush data for Whatcom County service area. All right. So good data sets. It's looking at the whole area. It is looking at Financial Plan Inc., Salish, and Trail. And one of the things that we're looking at is their positions. And then what the overall cost per click is. You might be running pay-per-click. I did not intend to do an analysis on your pay-per-click. That is out of scope for today. But I will say if you are doing pay-per-click, you need to have far better landing pages and stronger calls to action so that we're not wasting the $7 a click, which, by the way, $7 a click for this industry, phenomenal. Phenomenal. A lot of people get scared when they're like, oh my God, the industry average is like $45, actually, if you wanted to know, for financial advisors. It does get expensive. But there's some areas, some markets where we're able to do like $2 to $3 a click. And this is primarily Google data. If we looked at Bing, Bing tends to be about a third of the price. And since it's the default on most people's web browsers, and the largest people group that doesn't change their search from Bing to Google is age 55 plus, which is your target demographic, Bing starts to look really good. It then starts to look really, really good for that. So there may be a use case to do some pay-per-click advertising to accelerate and grow things up a little bit. So out of scope for today, but as a side note, that is very affordable. That is really, really affordable. All right. So this is saying, hey, you're doing really good in a lot of these areas, right? What is a fiduciary? See, it even says, hey, you've got this locked in. You're actually showing up for it. Maybe not in the exact position, you're 37th position, which is low, but I mean, compared to NerdWallet and the others, you're doing great. Everywhere else, though, you could be doing a little bit stronger, right? Trail FP, they are taking you to lunch on CFPs and some of these other keywords. And I know there's difference between IRAs, fee only, CFP. We still have to try and rank for things to be able to get the right people in the door. So, all right, high priority, build now. Ooh, wealth management. We don't have a web page that says wealth management Bellingham. Now, you might be saying, well, Adam, by golly, we have investment management. And yes, you do. And that talks about wealth management and preservation. Yes, you do. You need to search, you need to be able to rank for everything else. These are the gap opportunities where people are actively searching. They haven't met you yet. And you're trying to garner those eyeballs and that traffic to build that nurturing and move it to the next level. So we need a page that talks about wealth management Bellingham. That is honestly one of your absolute next steps. And you will gain traffic and you will gain customers, and it will take you less than 15 minutes to do that. That is your next step. So in this report, if we look at your mid-tier gaps, so these are areas where no one is ranking well. No one is. Fee only fiduciary. That's the thing. I mean, that's exactly who you are. You should be capitalizing on it. You should be doing better in it. Part of that is the page SEO just isn't tuned in. So that's your H1 tag, your H2 tag, and the title and the meta description, those aren't tuned in. And honestly, the alt text on your images, we didn't get a chance to get to those yet. Those are not tuned in either. So the moment you do that, you will begin ranking for that and being able to do a lot better. Especially if you were to adjust it to fiduciary versus financial advisor. That seems to be a killer keyword. Retirement income planning, which I know you guys do. It's in here, but it's not explicit enough. It's not explicit enough. So we need to go ahead and make a web page that talks about retirement income planning because you're missing out on all those searches. Now, granted, your competitors are too. This is where you get that competitive edge over everybody else and you're able to, quote unquote, crush the competition, as you should. So there are some local things. Your Google business page probably just needs to be updated, is what I'm seeing here. Now, I'm going to send this report over. This is a content production plan. You would be able to take this, go and build out all those pages, look at conversion rates, look at estimated traffic, and be able to measure against things across the board. I'm not going to bore the stream with all of these items, but when we send this report and we do this for our customers, we leave with actionable steps and typically a 30, 60, and 90-day content plan to be able to increase traffic, monitor that traffic, make sure that traffic's converting, and then adjust accordingly. Now, I've known other companies and groups that have spent anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a month on these types of services. We kind of scale things depending on where you are in that, but I can promise you that we will be able to do better results at a better price point than most of those. And so, if you do have questions or want to learn more about our offerings, please feel free to reach out to us at pullmanmarketing.com or just hit me up on LinkedIn. Honestly, if that's one of the number one ways to reach me direct. Or if you go to schedule.pullmanmarketing.com, that's how you can schedule directly with me. We can do even a 15-minute call or a hour-long discovery. Love to talk. Love to talk. Talking is free. Love to take a look and see if there are ways that we are able to add benefit and assist. Right? Like that's really what we're about, is helping and assisting financial advisors do better in their markets. And a lot of times, once again, these are really baseline items that can move the needle within your business. Now, after you get established traffic, then we can begin to track it. Then we can do conversion optimization. We can look at your seminars. There's so much to do. And you already know that. And if you took the time to sit and listen the 45, 50 minutes that we've been here today, thank you so much. It is an absolute joy. Skyline, I'm going to be sending this over to them through LinkedIn and through their contact forms. I hope to hear back. I hope this was helpful to them. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. It is Friday. Enjoy time with the families. Go sit at a coffee shop. Enjoy the views. It's summertime. It is beautiful. So enjoy, take care, and thank you so much. And then I have to remember what my videographer told me to do. He said to pull this up, and it's supposed to like magically switch things and like start music and move things forward. I'm not seeing it move forward though.